6 years and 5 years at the middle school. Jen Troy, I just wanted to say to you, on behalf of the entire leadership team and teachers and students at Milton High School, for the first time in my career, it's been unanimous to recommend you as Teacher of the Year, the MFE 2008 Teacher of the Year. You do an outstanding job from technology to research to supporting teachers, students before school, during lunch, and after school. You do a tremendous job, and you're a valuable part of our team. So we wanted to congratulate you.
I cannot think of a more deserving candidate. Jen possesses exceptional knowledge, is always willing to help in any capacity, and is one of the most kind and considerate individuals in the Milton Public Schools. Jen Troy goes above and beyond every day for everyone in this building. Without reservation, the entire Milton High School leadership team strongly recommends Jen J.T. Troy.
Has impacted so many children and done so much great work here at Glover School and with all our leaders. And look who's here today!
Madame Cardios-Manos challenges the children while making the educational lessons fun and introspections. On the top of Ms. Cardios-Manos' many attributes and skills, she is a great person to work with and is always willing to meet and plan strategies to keep kids engaged.
And we're here to acknowledge Mr. Cadet for being one of our great teachers. Who here gets a high five from Mr. Cadet when you get to school every day? Yep. Who gets a big smile and a check-in from Mr. Cadet? Whose day does he make brighter every day? So let's give him a big round of applause.
So, at the Tucker, let me hear who it is. Do you believe it? Is that the most exciting news you've ever heard?
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Cadet is a VIP at Tucker. Mr. Cadet is literally the face of Tucker when students arrive for the drop-off in the morning. Is that when you get the high fives? Yeah. On countless occasions, we've watched him comfort and build confidence in children experiencing separation anxiety. Frankly, we could all use some Ramsay Cadet in our corner. Mr. Cadet is a treasure who uplifts children to learn well and care for themselves well. Mr. Cadet has a skill set and a spirit of kindness and unconditional positive regard brought to bear for the benefit of our children. Congratulations.
in addition to that, there's a leadership award, and it's called the Mary Grosser O'Neill Leadership Award, and she was a superintendent here. For the Mary Grosser O'Neill Leadership Award, we're proud to be here today with the MFE to announce that Principal Redden has earned that award.
Mr. Redden is a loving, caring, yet strong principal you want your kids to have. No one has more pride for Cunningham School than John Redden. He works so hard to ensure the best for his students and staff at Cunningham. Students respect him. His dedication to the school really shows. He works 7 days a week. If you drive by Cunningham and see his car on a Sunday, he's making sure that everything is terrific for Monday morning. He goes above and beyond. For the students and faculty, he's a basketball dunker. He dyes his hair to motivate his students. He is larger than life. His students look up to him, and he is a wonderful role model.
There were so many nominations, it was
hard to break these down, but Miss Bullard is so kind, thoughtful, consistent, and talented with my son and his friends. She is a gift to Collicutt School. She is warm, welcoming, and always has a smile. Miss Bullard is an excellent example for the students and her peers' living school model. Kindness matters. There are no words for how much this lady deserves MFE Teacher of the Year. She is kind, considerate, and her lesson plans show great thoughtfulness. The children respond in a very positive manner to her instruction style. They are attentive, clearly enjoying being in her classroom. She's one of the most dedicated and loving teachers I have ever met. Miss Bullard makes learning fun. She is patient with me even when I'm a little too active. She helps me to focus, and I've learned so much this year. Congratulations.
So boys and girls, as I said, so we have the MFE that donates a lot of the things, including the scoop seats, the stand-up desk, and a lot of the materials that are here, but in all the classrooms here at the Cunningham School. And Mrs. Harkins was the first one to start writing for grants and asking to get those materials. But the MFE has always supported us, and they've always recognized one teacher every single year from all four of the elementary schools as the Teacher of the Year. And this year, it's Mrs. Harkins. So
Mrs. Harkins has been a tremendous resource and has been very helpful. Mrs. Harkins does not simply gather items and divvy them up between the classrooms. She has educated the staff about the best uses for the items. She goes into classrooms and teaches lessons to students about appropriate uses. Mrs. Harkins is passionate about her work in supporting every class teacher at Cunningham. I was amazed by her quick response and continue to be amazed by her continue to be amazed of her throughout my daughter's tenure at the Cunningham School. My daughter required occupational therapy up until the 5th grade. She describes Ms. Harkins as fun, amusing, nice, and helpful. Her OT visits were often the highlight of her week. Congratulations.
Nice, well earned, well deserved, and to have your family here. So big round of applause for
Homecoming? Who has ever heard of the Milton Foundation for Education? MFE, they do a lot of fundraising for us. They have purchased actually a lot of things in this classroom because Mrs. Rhodes is always writing another grant. But the most favorite thing of mine that they do is honor teachers. And so it is my distinct pleasure to let you know that this year's MFE Teacher of the Year for 2018 at the Pierce Middle School is the amazing Mrs. Rhodes.
So here are a few things that people said about you for nominating you this year. Jen is an awesome educator who consistently strives to make math education accessible to all students. She takes full command of her classroom and her students really respect her. She lends a helping hand when needed and always gives great advice. Jen is professional, compassionate, and hardworking. Mrs. Rhodes explains things when they're confusing to me. This is from a student. Mrs. Rhodes explains things that are confusing to me. She has a way of explaining them to me that helps them make sense. She shows me things with visual models and other methods that are helpful. She makes herself ready to help us at all points during the day. We even go to her during our lunch. We see it as a place we feel comfortable, and she seems to know when we're having trouble. However, Mrs. Rhodes does the impossible. The kids love her class. She makes learning fun, and there are always kids in her class before school, during lunch, and after school. On behalf of the Milton Foundation for Education.